Good morning, dear Dharma friends. How lovely to be here with you. We have my dear wife Jennifer to thank for my presence this morning. I always wake up before 6. And then this morning at around 6:20, she said, "Honey, aren't you teaching this morning?" And I was fast asleep. But here we are. Due to the blessing of this lovely little house, I didn't have to start from scratch and plug everything in and figure everything out. It was mostly set up. Except for the computers. I take the computers in the house at night just because. I don't know that they're any safer in there, but I do that. So it's September the 15th, 2020. I am Robert Beatty.
Recording.
Thank you, Jim. I'm not quite sure why I record these days anyway, but I'll do it. Thank you. I'm Robert Beatty. I'm broadcasting from Portland, Oregon. The air quality index is bad. I don't think it's extreme today. I think it's hazardous. Plus there's fog on top of that. Quite a time. Quite a time. So this is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community, PIMC, which is situated about 15 miles to my east here, to the east here. And there's a wonderful website, portlandinsight.org, where you can find a ton of useful information. So a poem. I remember sharing this poem with you, with this group, a few eye blinks ago from a tent over there, nearby. I woke up thinking of it this morning. It's In This Passing Moment by Shodo Harada Roshi. In this passing moment, karma ripens and all things come to be. I vow to choose what is. If there is a cost, I choose to pay. If there is need, I choose to give. If there is pain, I choose to feel. If there is sorrow, I choose to grieve. When burning, I choose heat. When calm, I choose peace. When starving, I choose hunger. When happy, I choose joy. Whom I encounter, I choose to meet. What I shoulder, I choose to bear. When it is my death, I choose to die. Where this takes me, I choose to go. Being with what is, I respond to what is. This life is as real as a dream. The one who knows it cannot be found, and truth is not a thing. Therefore I vow to choose this Dharma entrance gate. May all Buddhas and wise ones help me live this vow. Shodo Harada Roshi, who is, I believe, still alive. He would be 79 years old at this point. In this passing moment, karma ripens and all things come to be. I vow to choose what is. If there is cost, I choose to pay. If there is need, I choose to give. If there is pain, I choose to feel. If there is sorrow, I choose to grieve. When burning, I choose heat. When calm, I choose peace. When starving, I choose hunger. When happy, I choose joy. Whom I encounter, I choose to meet. What I shoulder, I choose to bear. When it is my death, I choose to die. Where this takes me, I choose to go. Being with what is, I respond to what is. This life is as real as a dream. The one who knows it cannot be found, and truth is not a thing. Therefore I vow to choose this Dharma entrance gate. May all Buddhas and wise ones help me live this vow. This Dharma entrance gate, this experience of this moment. And so let us sing a song of refuge. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. A long time ago, when Buddhism went over the Himalayas into China, it took 200 years. After that time, it became one of the official Chinese religions. There was Taoism and I'm forgetting. How funny. I'm not quite awake yet. Anyway, where I'm going with it is, the word for it was Chan, C-H-A'-A-N, which means the sitters, or the people who sit. So let's do that. Let's sit. Let's choose this Dharma moment. Exactly as it is. If it's hot, I choose heat. If it's sleepy and groggy, I choose sleepy and groggy, sloth and torpor. If it's worry, I choose worry. Pushing nothing away, attaching to nothing. Come home to this moment. Notice the breath coming and going. There's an amazing thing happening. an organism, the body, breathes in and breathes out according to its needs. It started this at a particular moment when your mother could no longer breathe for you. And it persists until the moment when your final out-breath happens. Between these two discrete moments, this rising and falling of the chest and abdomen, this coming and going of air through the nostrils, is a constant companion. Honor this breath with presence. Notice its beginning, middle, and ending. And this intention will help make much more visible, more apparent when the mind wanders. But let us not be in battle with the wandering mind. When there is wandering mind, I choose wandering mind. See thoughts, moods, the trances of everyday life for what they are. They are inner weather. Nothing to attach to, nothing to resist. Everything follows the same pattern of arising and vanishing. It is always now, isn't it? A thought that arose 5 seconds ago is gone. It's just now. As mysterious as the coming and going of the breath is, perhaps more so is the fact of awareness. With each in-breath and out-breath, there is, or can be, presence, knowing. The mind wanders off into some thought or feeling, emotion. The word is papancha, mental proliferation. And then awareness arises. We tend to tell ourselves a little story then, which is, oh, I just woke up. I just woke myself up. And as practice deepens, as concentration and mindfulness develop, the fact that that's a thought becomes obvious. And then there's mystery. Awareness, that which knows, has a life of its own. The five hindrances, desire and aversion and restlessness, sloth and torpor and doubt, become obviously objects of observation. So there's awareness and breathing in. Presence, knowing. Sometimes it seems like work lost a lot, often in the wandering minds, in the emotions, in the mood. With occasional awakenings to the present. Other times it seems as though awareness simply abides in now and wandering minds don't have much momentum. Sometimes the impulse is to get up and leave, to do something else, because the dukkha is strong. The unsatisfactoriness is strong. Other times there is sukha, pleasure, sweetness. Neither is the right experience. Both are the true experience. Coming home to the present moment. Sometimes the intensity of thoughts and feelings, emotions, is so great that it seems, in a way, pointless. Why should I sit here feeling this? Why not? Why not feel that sadness? Why not feel that anger or hopelessness? Why not feel the ease and delight of concentration? And we live in a web of relatedness. We and the trees are one. We and the enemy are one. Manifestations, consciousness emerging, somehow connected to matter in separate beings. And this perspective simplifies things because something done to another is done to ourselves and vice versa. So on the in-breath now, cultivate a thought, a wish, an imagination of blessing. Perhaps as simple as, may I be happy. Or if you've cultivated a practice of honoring the structures within you that were and are you as a child, is there something that you really long to hear? Maybe it's, I love you. Maybe it's, I won't abandon you ever again. Or maybe it's, you're fine just like you are. On the in-breath, offer this to yourself as communion. On the out-breath, think of someone it's easy to love. Interestingly, this is traditionally not someone that one is in intimate relationship with. It's because those relationships are fraught often with complexity. It's often a benefactor, a teacher, someone who has brought such good into your life. Wish them well. So on the in-breath, it's, may I be free from fear and danger. On the out-breath, may this person be free from fear and danger. May the crows in the trees outside that we no longer hear, that you no longer hear, may they be free from fear and danger. And then on the in-breath, may I live with ease and grace. Let that fill your body from your toes to your hands, to your face, to your back. And gradually, as the intuition arises, include other people. Include your pets. Include your friends and colleagues at work. And don't forget yourself on every in-breath. Think of how you might take especially good care of yourself today. The kindness that you could offer to yourself today. I aspire to live in the present moment all day today. To do whatever needs to be done mindfully, not holding my breath, not racing to the next thing, but choosing this moment. I aspire to be with whatever moods are present today, to honor them. And then on the out-breath, may all beings, may our friends who live in the air be happy, safe. May they know happiness, the causes of happiness, and the blossoming of happiness. Our friends who live in the trees, who are the trees. Those who walk on the ground, who slither. Those with 100 legs and those with 2. and those who live beneath the ground, countless insects, burrowing creatures. And recognizing the breathing in and breathing out as totally participant in this web of life. Honoring our separateness as we simultaneously honor our interbeing. And please now invite yourself. Invite awareness into the face and the eyes, into the whole body, and letting these eyes now follow the intention to open, and then letting the effort involved happen and letting them open. Open and seeing. Seeing with the eyes of love and compassion. And if you navigate to gallery view, here's a palette of increasingly familiar faces. Hello, Stephanie, way off on the other side of the world. Looks like you're dressed to go out to a party. Earrings. Can't, oh, just a minute, I gotta turn on my sound. Okay, now I think I could hear you.
Oh, no, I just came in from work.
Huh.
Oh. Good to see everyone.
So announcements. Last call for the Eightfold Path train starts on tomorrow night. Also a thank you for those of you that are participating in the joyful experience of Dana and supporting your meditation center. The opportunity is available to become a monthly giver, a monthly donor. And that stabilizes things financially, and more than anything, it provides this doorway for people. It provides this doorway into the Dharma. I'd sure be sunk without the Dharma. I'm not sure what it was, but I think I do know what it was, actually. Yesterday morning I read I have to be so careful with the news. I read something about the danger of the election being troubled by the mail-in ballot issue. There are, anyway, I read that and it got me. And for the morning, I was really quite challenged. It was the mood of hopelessness and grumpiness was here. And then I sat for some more and then did some work mindfully. In the afternoon, it vaporized, and I was then free of identification with it. But boy, oh boy, when those moods come in, they can be potent. And that's what we're here. I mean, one of the reasons we're here is to support one another in not going down that rabbit hole or any rabbit hole and staying identified, but setting ourselves free. So that's the invitation to support the center. And so now, how lovely to see you, and please, if you wish to say something to inspire us, something to share your loss or your grief, something to simply speak your truth. We await you. And I suppose I should give permission from my strange role here, even if it isn't an earth-shaking thing, even if it isn't a Nobel Prize winning act of kindness, it's yours and it's ours. So please feel free to share.
Robert,
Hello, Katie. I can hear you, yes.
hi. I just wanted to say I'm having a difficult time because I think I have to put my cat down today. So it just seems like Duke has been piling up and piling up and piling up, and Jesus, it's just very sad. Yet, I must say, I have literally reached for your teachings a few times in the night and in the morning, and I did find places of peace that are very, I think maybe for me, things had to get so fucking bad that it broke me through the bottom instead of the top. I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm starting to understand it not in a philosophical, not in a way where I don't know how to say this, I guess. I found a place of peace, and that is very, very rare. And I keep thinking there's something wrong when I'm there, but maybe that's where I need to be. I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, there are fruits of this practice, and you've been working really hard for quite some time to face into the anguish, and you've put yourself right out there in the front lines of life, and so there's the fruits. How wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And may you have a beautiful, loving departure of your cat today. What is your cat's name?
Millie.
Millie. May Millie go on her journey with great knowing that she's been surrounded by such love.
Thank you,
She's had a fine cat life living with you. I'm reminded too that looking back at my children's lives, my life as a parent, one of the reasons, of course, we get pets so that the kids have company and playmates and so on. But there's also a special role that our pets play, which is that they teach us to grieve. They are teachers of impermanence, and so they come and we attach and we love them and we do all those things. and then we say goodbye. And we help our children. I know you're not in that circumstance right now, but we help our children learn that it's normal to grieve and that it's painful. And that takes some of the fear out of life and living and allows us to live more fully. Here comes my little reminder. Come here. Hi, Budo. He sure likes having his ears scratched. Oh, not enough.
Robert, this is Pamela.
Hello, Pamela.
Hi. I seem to be struggling with, and I don't think it's anything new at all, but I'm kind of wanting to, my brain is so busy all the time, and I bet I can sometimes anchor it on my breath if I count my breath. But you said something about you've gotten to the point where it's fairly quiet in there when you meditate, and I have planning and teaching and judging and all of that, and I just wondered if you had any pointers on sort of moving to the next step of being a little quieter, or I'm just finding myself frustrated a little bit.
When calm, I choose peace. When freaking out about my wandering mind, I choose freaking out about my wandering mind. When resisting what is, I choose resisting what is. That to be with it's way back when I did a 2-month retreat very early in my practice. I did 2 months, and it was like 14 to 16 hours a day of walking and sitting. Very intense practice, Burmese model. And at the end of it, I went for a walk with my teacher, and I did have periods of incredible tranquility and joy, but mostly it was just this. And I was talking with him about calmly that feeling somewhat as though I had failed because I couldn't control my mind. And he congratulated me. He said, well, there you really are understanding the human condition. You are understanding the human mind, that it is profoundly out of control. And so, what to do? What to do except practice. And the practice will, over time, reveal the greed, hatred, and ignorance that are driving that upsetness that is there in everybody. And also, over time, we get to the spot of not fighting against it so much. And then there's wandering mind, and then there's no wandering mind. But it's a matter of simply allowing things to be as they are, and there isn't a lot to do about it. In fact, the doing is the issue. And over time, the unfinished emotional work of our life comes to the forefront. And then and maybe some life circumstance comes along, like a death or a COVID situation. And we find ourselves grieving, having sadness or anger, or old stuff emerges. And then as we metabolize that, as that has a chance to mature and flow through, then we find ourselves more and more at ease. So I think you hear what I'm saying. It's profoundly about patience, and this poem this morning is really about that. This is how it is today. Like yesterday morning, I had that. It was not a nice state I was in. It was very painful, very familiar. I used to live in depression for years, and there it was. But it was clear to me that it was a state. And that I probably wouldn't live in it for the rest of my life, though it felt like the truth. So is that making sense? Patience and love, I think, are the watchwords. And
I
awareness.
suspect that being stuck in the house and not even being able to go for walks is having an effect on my mind.
Right, that's one of the ways of looking at COVID and now smoke is that we are unable to distract in the ways that we and comfort in the ways that we are accustomed. And that then means we wind up facing aspects of our being which normally we wouldn't get to see, which is one of the reasons one goes on retreat. Right, which is you go into sensory deprivation. No reading, no writing, no this and that, and then, right, all of our coping mechanisms come to the fore. I remembered something Jack Kornfield said. One of his teachers from Thailand came to visit Spirit Rock, and Spirit Rock is a beautiful retreat center. I mean, it's gorgeous. And there are private rooms, and the meditation hall is this beautiful giant thing, and there's beautiful Buddhas and Kuan Yins, and the food is really quite good, and the location, the grandeur of that land is amazing. And this teacher said, well, Jack, your poor students are in trouble now because they're going to have to work hard to blame the environment for the fact that they're feeling bad. They're going to be stuck with the realization that it's in them, it's not out here. Interesting observation. So thank you for sharing yourself like that. A creature comes in. Oh, look at that cat. This is a perfect distance for me with your cat because I'm allergic to cats. And so I can appreciate and enjoy from a safe distance.
So I am also allergic to cats.
Yikes!
They love me.
Obviously.
Hi, Robert. It's Tim.
Hello, Tim Blood.
Hey, hello. I just invite anyone who's interested to visit the Brightonbush pages on Facebook and on the web. These are the guys that saved the lodge, and I get a little teary thinking about Brightonbush because of all that has happened for me there, meeting you there, and being there with Ram Dass and Stephen, and these guys just embody, that sense of dedication and love and commitment. And they have saved the lodge. They're of course looking and welcoming Donna their donations also for the work they're doing. But anyway, those of you that are on Facebook or just on the web, Um, check out what they're doing up there because it's pretty incredible. I'm just thankful for Breitenbush because that's where I met you.
Yeah, a lot of healing has happened there. I've said many times, I don't know how many times I've been there. It's over 100, I'm sure. I was there with Ruth Dennison when they were putting the sides on what's now the villa, where the kitchen, which also survived, before any retreats happened. But I commonly have said in my retreats that people believe that there are places on the earth that are particularly healing, like Lourdes, or there's places of pilgrimage. And here's my tearfulness. The north wing of the lodge. I've experienced miracles of healing in myself. I was there with Ron Kurtz in the first intermediate level Hakomi therapy training, and I had a life transforming experience in the North Wing. And so many people, I don't know how many people I have sat with there in my role as teacher, but it's in probably maybe thousands. And people really transform. And so anyway, it's thank you for sharing that. And
yeah, I have pleasant memories of a workshop I helped you with up there in the snow, and it snowed while we were there. And I got a bunch of people. I said, Robert's got to drive out of here, and everybody needs chains. How about if we put chains on Robert's car for him?
That was lovely. I remember it was big snow too.
That's an offering. Yeah. It was challenging getting out of there.
Yeah. And it'll happen again.
Yeah.
I did a little quick calculation that with this little house, this beautiful little house, cost about $11,000 to create, bare bones. And those with another, let's say 10, then let's say $25,000 a piece. With $1 million, they could easily have 40 or 50 little houses again. And they'll have that. There's so much support. So it'll be a year or two, but it'll happen again. And my guess is that before then they will have tents for summertime. Yeah.
Here in Eugene, we have community-supported shelters, and they make these Conestoga huts for homeless people. And they can make one for, I don't know, $1,000. With not very much, they can make one of these things. And we've got little safe spots around town here where they'll put in a few, and it'll be a hosted place for homeless people. And they could put 40 of those in there. Yeah, for not much money. Anyway, a lot of possibilities.
We're after 8. Anybody have anything you'd like to share? Please.
Just a little funny thing happened last night. I was teaching in Jim's guest house, and I got all finished with a very pleasant evening and realized I never recorded it. Thought that was funny.
It came and it went. It is smoky out there still today.
Robert, this is Had.
Hello, Had.
Quick question. Will that poem you started to sit with today be on your blog, on your website?
I will put it on the blog before I leave my little house this morning.
Great, thank you.
The blog is at robertbeatty.com. Make a note. Put poem on blog.
Good morning, Robert. It's Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hello. You know, it's interesting that you mentioned the crows this morning in your when you were speaking, and I was thinking about how quiet it is out there. Don't hear the birds, and I don't see them around very much either. They're usually just all over my yard and sitting in the higher elevations around here. But I read this posting last night from CNN that hundreds of thousands of migratory birds have been found dead in New Mexico. And and you talked about exposing yourself to the news yesterday, and I just wonder, how do we kind of stay informed, but how do we know when not to stay informed? How much exposure should we have to what seems like this perpetual devastating news about stuff? I guess I don't know when to turn it off sometimes.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be fine with 90% less, really. I read that same article and it stopped me in my tracks. My dear friend Don McEachern, with whom I teach in Canada, has a beautiful little boat. He calls it Rahula, the fetter, the name of the Siddhartha's son. And it's, how long is it? I don't know, 18 feet. It can go a maximum of 4.5 knots. It's a two-cylinder diesel motor that he's completely rebuilt. And anyway, he loves it, and I love it, that little boat. And he goes out in Desolation Sound. And they were following humpback whales. But he commented the other day, and he's been a person of the sea his whole life, fishing and so on. And he commented on the lack of wildlife. That there aren't the seagulls there used to be. There aren't, and we are in difficult times. It's true. And so we open our hearts to that sometimes, and then turn on the TV or the computer or not. And I'm on a reclusive mode now again. I got overdosed. I had an overdose experience yesterday morning, and I'm gonna fast for a bit. And thanks for sharing that.
Just on another note, I noticed it just started raining here in southeast Portland.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, rain. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyone else would like to share? Oh, I should mention this. I don't know if there's still space, but I am teaching a weekend retreat. Stay at home, but weekend retreat. The weekend of October 3rd and 4th. And that's happening. It's sponsored by Hollyhock. And I've taught 26 years. I missed 1 year. 26 years in a row, I taught a retreat in the fall at Hollyhock, and it would be coming up soon. It was canceled, of course. But it's a weekend, and if you go to hollyhock.ca for Canada, there may still be spaces if you'd like to participate in that. It's a very inexpensive, $35 Canadian, I think, to register, and then we'll be spending the weekend together. So, time to go, I think. Do we have any children out there? Haven't seen Stephanie in a little while. Any children come to the fore, please? So let us close then with Ya Fatah. The words Ya Fatah in Arabic mean, may the path of your heart open before you. May all beautiful things come to you. And so we do it like this. We take our hands to the heart, and then I'll unmute us in a moment, and then it's Ya Fatah. And we cast, each of us, think about casting your blessing across the world, like in this direction, and between all of us we'll cover the whole world. So it's a beautiful way of saying, may all beings receive all blessings. So we'll do it 6 times. We are now unmuted. Ya Fatah.
Ya Fatah.
Ya Fatah. Ya Fatah. Ya Fatah. Twice more. Ya Fatah. Ya Fatah. Have a lovely day, dear friends. I really look forward to being with you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Facebook.